Why this car is so good and is considered to be like one of the best for the average level for the training car.
And if you need, you just wash out the front end. And it keeps going well.
You can throw it from one big angle into another. Fresh X.
And coming back to roots, today we're at the Drift Home Arena and one of our big friends and one of the best Russian drifters, Arkady Tsaregradtsev, come to us to check the 370Z, our baby Z car for training, and now we'll see his expectation and perception of this car.
It's comfortable, predictable. You can feel how it distributes the weight in transitions. It's just awesome to drive it wide open. You know, you can throw it from one big angle into another, and it's so predictable.
Here, second gear is enough, right?
Yeah, you don't need more than second here. It's got a 3.3 final drive ratio, which is actually the longest. Honestly, no one really drives with this setup. On the stock 370 with a manual, it's a 3.7 ratio, and some guys even go through the trouble of buying aftermarket gears to install a 3.9. We went out with a 3.7, and it felt really short, but this 3.3 is from the automatic version, and all our cars are set up with this ratio. That's why it feels like it has so much wheel speed compared to other cars.
And you can see it. I've been watching the stories. There's a lot of smoke. The car smokes a lot when driven.
It really does. Well, you could say it blizzards, yeah.
Very cool. Thank you. Very cool. Ultra Lux. A very nice car to drive with modest power. Despite the 265 tires, it handles quite well. Of course, it's not Westlake, we all know that, but the tires are decent. The car performs really well in all conditions. It does have a slight tendency to understeer at extreme steering angles, but that's easily manageable. We know how to handle it. Overall, the car is very well balanced and offers a great driving experience for its drifter. Most importantly, compared to a race car, it's not just 2 laps. You can do 10, and with the right tires, even 15. That's why it's an excellent training car. We'll definitely be building something similar in the future.
Today we are at EDC Emirates Drift Championship, where we're participating with our baby Z. Ilya, our third drifter, is running this car. And this car was tested before a couple of days ago by Arkady Tsaregradtsev, and he got his review about this car. Why this car is so good and why it is considered one of the best for the average training level by the amounts of the champions. If you want to see the magic pill or something like a miracle, there is no secret of this car. It's just tuned properly. Starting from the chassis, we read off all the necessary parts and components to prepare the body for the proper manufacturing. Straight after, we made the dozens of engineering work and engineering solution with this car and rebuild the components inside the baby car to make this stock test, but not at all. For instance, the rear part was fulfilled with the radiator, and we've got the sport tank instead of the stock one. By the way, we're running Radium Engineering fuel tank for the lightweight, for the setting, and so on. Furthermore, this car has the wide range of variety of the settings, so the tunings and regulations of all the components that we can have, like angle, the alignments, and so on. We've got the good suspension, we've got the setting up the engine with the amount of horsepower of this car, so it's not so powerful, it's not less powerful than it's enough, so we've got the right balance of this car. And the weight distribution, of course, makes sense in this case. Drivers are always saying that this car is always ready for the turning and for the skidding, so it's not skidding enough, it's not gripping enough, so it's having the right balance for the turns that we've got for the racing layout.
All my friends are hot and they only dance to techno.
When we created and assembled this car, the main idea was quite simple. We wanted to create the reliable and efficient car that will be useful for newbies who want to train their drift skills and start drifting in an almost pro spec, and for professionals who just want to refine and refresh their exercises and drifting at the new arenas and the new layouts at the off-season. So minimum complexity and maximum efficiency. And as you see, we succeeded. It seems like we succeeded with this goal, because this car has never lost a race, and the main point is the balance. I mean, it's a good power-to-weight ratio, durability of the components that we're using, the good assembly, and of course the tuning, precise tuning setup. There is no magic pill of this car, it's just the generation and the mix of the solution that we were implementing in this car, and it works in a complex way. Speaking about setup, Baby Z affords millions of the components that you can change and adjust. For instance, the adjustable suspension that we have here, that you can set up for the special layout, for the special rubber track and the variants for the driver and the style of the driver. And for instance, the reduction that you can just install and change in any way, despite that is the stock one. You can change it for the exact layout, exact race, and driving on the second gear without shifting. And despite all of these components that you can adjust, our drivers just didn't change any stuff so much, except the reduction, because it was dialed perfectly and works as it was built just in a month. About weight distribution, we know that is one of the most important parts in every car, and here we have a bit lighter rear axle compared to the front one, and overall it's working good. We achieve and attain good results, but in the second version that will be for purchasing, and by the way, just to remind that we're selling these cars like a car in the box, like the solution for the drifting for the training car. It is working good, but in the second version we'll add a couple more 2-3% on the front axle to make it perfect and ideal. Speaking about the components and brands that we're using, we'll not dive into it now because we have the special video about it and the link will be here, but we'll talk about the upgrades that we're planning to do in the second version of this Baby Z. First of all, we're planning to change the body kit. As you know, we're now producing our own body kit for 400Z, for our Pro Z, and we're doing it from the scratch with all the components and with all the stages. And this form of the body kit, but not from the carbon Kevlar, but from the same material, will be implemented in this car, and it will be with the Pro form for aerodynamic, for weight, it will be lighter, and so on. Second, we're planning to rid of the factory electronic, and we'll completely change the system of the wiring. So it will be at the same places, but it will be our custom wiring, but not the factory that could not work so properly that it could be on a longitude distance. And the third one, we're planning to add the roll cage in Baby Z, yes, in the Baby Z 2, to make it more efficient and more stable for racing in any level, average it would be, or a Pro one. One of the greatest benefits of this Baby Z car that it consumes less materials and components than the Pro car at the same time. So for instance, we had the training session on the same layouts with our Pro car, that is Supra, and with the Baby Z. And they have the same pressure and the same tires, rear tires I mean, and they have the same amount of flips on the layout of the same track. They're just going in tandem. And it turned out that the Baby Z consumed in 2.5 times less tire with the same components compared to the Pro one. So if you think that this car has the secret, you understood that it's just a smart approach, good components, reliable working, and it works this way in mix-up. And great amount of these solutions we will implement in our Pro car, and that's why we're working so precisely with this car to make the Pro one from the first time, and it would work properly and precisely. So in this case, our Pro Z is almost ready. We're still working on it, and super soon it will be ready and reliable for racing for the Pro Championship. And of course, we'll tell you about it in the next videos, and we'll make the big film about our body kit, how we produce it, how it works, why we're doing it from ourselves, not with the suppliers and so on. And furthermore, we'll tell you about the championship we're participating in, like Cliva and ODC. The films will be so soon, so follow us to know all the details about the best drift car you've ever seen. Bye bye.